Hey, what's going on? So we're going to do a 50,000 mile review of my 2017 Ford F250 Super Duty Crew Cab Lariat Short Box. What else am I missing? PowerStroke diesel. So I want to go over a lot of things that I like about the truck that have done a great job, have been nice features to have. There's been a few things that I don't like about the truck so much, and also some missing features that are options out there that I will be looking to add on my next Super Duty. Maybe they won't be important to you, but I feel like if you're going to pay the kind of money that you're going to spend on one of these trucks, get all the options that you can. So stick around. So I actually just got this truck back today after being in the shop for a month. I was rear-ended in early December, I think December 8th or right around there. My wife and I were out doing some Christmas shopping, and my mom was watching the kids, and so we were on a state highway just west of town, and I had slowed down to a stop and getting ready to make a left turn, and traffic had just cleared. And apparently, you know, it was about 6 o'clock, just after dark. The car behind me that was a long ways away behind me decided not to pay attention and bam, rear-end me and doing about 60 miles an hour. So it turned out the bill was only about $4,500 for my truck, which, well, only, I mean, it was a lot of money, but it ended up totaling his car out. Just kind of had to limp off the side of the road there. We didn't have any whiplash. You know, the seat rest here, when I'm sitting back like this, my head is almost touching the seat rest, and the same thing with my wife, who was sitting in how do I get over there? This seat right here. But neither one of us had any whiplash. The other driver hopped right out as well, but I feel like, you know, you want to be in a truck that's safe. You want to be in a truck that is well equipped. Part of it was the fact that this vehicle is so heavy in and of itself, and the combination that it was a smaller, lighter vehicle, and the truck sits up so high, and so the vehicle actually went a little bit underneath the back end, underneath the receiver portion there of the truck too. So a lot of factors there, but you know, that is a big concern. No injuries, you know, getting hit from basically at a standstill doing zero, just getting ready to make a left turn and then have somebody run into you without even hitting the brakes behind you, and just be able to hop out of the truck and everybody's okay is pretty remarkable. So really, I've had two warranty issues with this truck in 50,000 miles, and one is going to be a Bluetooth issue, which I've had a Bluetooth issue in Ford, in Dodge, and in GM products. So there must just be something really finicky with that technology, and these manufacturers just can't seem to quite dial it in right away. I haven't had any problems since. That was about 20,000 miles ago, and so I guess maybe the first Bluetooth mod made it about 30,000 miles, so maybe in another 10,000 miles I'm going to have it replaced again. I don't know. I did purchase the extended warranty right from Ford. It's a 150,000 mile warranty. I figure I was probably going to keep this truck about 3 or 4 years, and so it'd basically cover me bumper to bumper for everything that might happen within that time period there. The other warranty issue that I had was actually windshield wipers. So that's about as minor as it can get, but they were sticking on the window, and they just, you know, I was out on a hunting trip in Wyoming, and they were just kind of sticking when they were going down the window and back up, and it was super annoying. But I took it back in, and they swapped out the wiper blades, and we're good to go. So as far as service goes, it's been really minimal. Basically, you're going to be changing your fuel filter every other oil change. I've done, I think, either 5 or 6 oil changes at this point. Just got done with another one while it was in the shop there getting repaired, and they did the fuel filter change at that point as well. So I think it's my 3rd fuel filter, if I recall correctly. So maybe that would mean that I've had 6 oil changes at this point. But the dealer said to do it on a regular basis, you know, get into a cadence there. I think the Ford manual says every 3,000 or 5,000 miles, but I've been doing it more like 7,000 or 8,000 miles in that ballpark. I haven't noticed an issue yet. The dealer's perfectly comfortable with that. I think I'm going to be coming up at some more service, some more fluid changes around the 60 or 70,000 mile mark, but it's been very minimal so far, and makes it easy. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the exterior of the truck and go over just a few different areas out there. There's not as much outside as there probably is inside, you know, exterior versus interior, but go over some of the things that I like. There's going to be a couple things I don't like, some things you should watch out for. Maybe there's different options out there for you as well. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to start with the exterior of the truck here and kind of just do a walk around here. And as you can see here, these are not the stock tires that came on the truck. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong guys, but I believe it's a Michelin, some sort of all-terrain. That's not a very aggressive one. It's more of a street tire than anything else. But I've had really good luck with the BFGs, so all-terrains. They look a lot better. I did not go up a size at all, which, I mean, you stand back and you definitely look like you could, which is probably not the problem, except for the fact that my garage at home, I want to store this inside, and right here on the top, it's already rubbing the weather stripping of the garage, and I was very concerned, very afraid if I went any larger with this that I would not be able to fit inside the garage. So, but I took those original tires off around 30,000 miles. I just couldn't stand them any longer. These are just as quiet. They are very capable. They're better off-road. I don't lose any mileage. There's no noticeable detractions that I can really list for these tires. They look better, they perform better, and we'll go from there. So moving on, these are the power folding telescoping mirrors, so they will slide in and out, and they'll also fold as well. I'll go ahead and show you guys that. You're going to see here part of the 360 degree camera system, which is awesome. Here's one of the cameras right here. I'm going to be one on the other side. There's going to be one up front on the front of the truck up here that I can show you now, which is that guy right there. And then there's going to be one on the back and one up above the bed here. So there's the one up above, and you can see the one right out back. All right. So we passed by the FX4 package here. It is a very nice upgrade that you can add on there. I will say that it's a stiff riding truck. I mean, there's not a lot of forgiveness. It's definitely not plush like a GMC product might be, but I didn't buy it for that. I bought it for a lot of the other capabilities that it has to offer. So one of the things that I love but hate are these running boards. I am not a big fan of the power running boards, and so I do like a fixed step bar like this, and I love the fact that it goes all the way back and extends so that you can step up on here and get into the truck bed as well, you know, if the top wasn't on there. But what I don't like about it are all these little individual treads here, okay, all the way up front. I mean, they're very hard to clean in between. I mean, it's such a pain. It's so time consuming to try to do that. So again, kind of a love-hate relationship there with those. This is the metallic color. Hopefully you're getting a good look at that. It's hard to see much. Try to get some different angles here for you. Maybe that's a good one. It really shines too in the light and the sunshine when it's clean, and it cleans up well. It hides the dirt fairly well. There's actually a little film of dirt on here right now. You can almost see where I rubbed some of it off right there a little bit. I have had to a couple times. This is just surface rust. You can kind of see it down there, and it will come right off with like Adobe sponge or a little Scotch-Brite sponge. Even use some cleaning compound if you need to. So one of the features that I wish I had were going to be the quad beam LED headlights. I've thought about having those put on here. I know they're over $1,000, I believe, to do so. But if I do keep the truck for another 2 or 3 years, you know, it'd be nice to have that extra visibility. I've driven some of the other ones that do have that feature, and that's something that I miss. I did have to have this shorter antenna installed on here. The tall one stood up above the truck, and essentially when I drove into my garage, the antenna that was up here would stick into the insulation when the garage door was up and was deteriorating that. So I got the shorter antenna. I actually listened to Sirius XM more than anything else. I have not noticed much of a reception loss with that, but so again, this is the short box. If you're looking online at these trucks, and it's hard to see in the picture, they don't always tell you which one it is, LB or SB, or maybe it's LWB or SWB, but pay attention to this section here, and I always just take a look. I'll take a look at eyeball the tire, the width of it, and then see if it matches up slightly or roughly with this area right here. The long box is going to stick out way past here. It's almost like you could take 1.5 tires or more and fit it in that section. So for me, I wanted a short box. I mean, this box is already long enough as it is, about 6.5 foot, barely fits in my garage, and I guess I just need a bigger garage all around. Right there is going to be the power rear window. Very clean. There's our fuel fill right here, easy. This is easy to open up and access to get into the DEF to fill that up with your blue DEF there. But I will say this doesn't hold as much as the last Dodge Ram that I had, which held, I think it was 10 gallons, and this one holds about 7.5. I'm just basing that based on the 2.5 gallon jug size. So here's an LED light as well. That's very handy when it's night out. You have all your standard stuff down here as far as the connections go. There. Don't know what that is, to be honest. Looks like a lock of some kind. Somebody can tell me that. Here's our receiver. This receiver actually was replaced. It's brand new due to the accident. You can see our sensors there, our parking sensors. Pop this open. One of the great things I like are these standard LED lights that are in the bed. Push that button there. You've got one here on this side, and you have one here on the other side as well. So that really helps. It's really handy when it's nighttime. It came with some of the Ford, I can't remember what they are, but Ford accessories here for latches, for more tie downs that you can add. There's another one up, somewhere up. Yeah, there it is right there. And same thing on the other side. And of course you have the built-in step, which I've used a decent amount. It works really well. It's durable. They've been out for a while, but it is robust. It's not just a gimmick that breaks, which those are the kind of features that I hate. So this one's actually useful. So one of the features that doesn't work quite so well having a tonneau cover on here is going to be the tailgate release. So I'm going to go ahead and see if it does actually release and fall all the way down today. Without a tonneau cover on here, it works just fine, but with the tonneau on there, it does not always release. So we'll see what happens here. Hey, there we go. We got lucky today. I do love that feature. However, I do wish there was an option to close the tailgate, but maybe I'm just being lazy. This works just fine. So one of the other features it doesn't have that I wish it had was going to be the bliss system, the blind spot alert system that they have, which you'll see a little, I think it's a couple cars that are up here in the corner, something like that, and it'll light up orange when there's a car in your blind spot. And same thing on the other mirror over there on the driver's side mirror. And also, if you're shopping for them online, lots of times you're going to see a sticker in the back, on the back light here, somewhere up in this area, I believe it is. So just another badge on there, so to speak. That's something I didn't really know about when I purchased my truck, but something that I wish I had, and will definitely, I won't buy another one of these trucks without that option. So getting to the power plant here, I mean, I have nothing bad to say about that. It's performed flawlessly for me. It has plenty of power anytime I need it. I'm typically going to be towing one of these bumper pulls over here. I do need to upgrade to a gooseneck, and that's something I'm going to plan on doing this year. But for my purposes right now, one of those trailers has worked fine for me. Alright, so now we're inside the truck here, and it feels a lot nicer to me. We're going to go ahead and fire this up, and so this has the push button start technology, which is an option. It's not standard. You can still get the the standard style key start here, but I don't know why you wouldn't want this. It's a really nice feature to have. I never have to take the keys out of my pocket. So just put your foot on the brake and push the button. Alright, so you can see there about 48,300 and change on here. So again, a little shy of 50,000 miles there, but this is again about as clean as it's going to look. And with a family of 5, I'm pretty happy with the results right here. So I want to go ahead and show you the power fold mirrors here. They've worked great. This is another thing similar to the floorboards or the running boards, I should say, that I'm really not a fan of power folding. I've had a lot of motors go out in the past, and it's just something that's very expensive to replace and not something that I look forward to dealing with. So here's those power fold mirrors, and so what we're going to have here, if I can get that to focus a little bit better. So we've got, this is going to slide the mirrors in or out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and push these buttons, and you can see the mirrors going in and out. That's them going out right there. And then we'll go ahead and move them back in. They've worked very well that way. And then let's see, this is going to be our power fold button right here, this one here. So I'll go ahead and push that. You can go ahead and push it again. And you can see on the other side too. Okay. They are, you might be able to hear they're folding at a different speed actually. So the passenger side seems to be folding a little bit quicker than the driver's side. Alright, so a few controls down here that I hopped back out of the truck to show you just because it's easier that way. You're going to have on the steering column here, you know, the ability to raise and lower and in and out. Right there, power steering column there. You're also going to have the ability to adjust your pedals, either one way or another. So you can see them moving. I must have them adjust. There they go. Yep. So those are going to move one way or another. You can open your tailgate from here if you would like as well. And then you're going to have some floodlights. This is a little dome light that's going to shine onto your truck bed. And then over here we're going to be able to adjust the brightness or dimness of our gauge cluster up front here. So what these are right here is you can shine another LED light to this side of the truck or to the passenger side of the truck by engaging one of these two buttons. Very nice to have. So up top here, these are some of the features that are a lot of options. Sometimes you'll see a configuration here with just 2 or 3 of these buttons, and you'll see up to 6 on here. So this one right here is your engine brake. You have traction control here, you know, caution lights clearly, hill descent control there. This is going to be a lane keeping assist, and then this is your 360-degree camera view. And so I'll hit this button, these first few buttons up here, this one here, and that one there, and you can see what they show up on here on the gauge cluster. So that's the engine brake is on, automatic, and turn it back off that way. And then the next one here is going to be your traction control, so you can see that back on and off, that kind of thing, flipping that back and forth. Hit OK to clear that. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit this hill descent control. You can see that it's ready and it's back off there. So that one there. And then obviously flashers here, that's no big deal. This is going to be lane keeping. You can just push that and it's going to engage it, and you can push it again and it's going to keep it off. And so what that does is it's going to essentially, if you start to get close to an edge as you're driving of your lane either side, the steering wheel is going to vibrate and shake. So within the lane keeping system there, you have a sensitivity that you can adjust, either normal or increased. And then you also have alert sensitivity there, low, normal, and high. And so basically this one here is going to tell you, basically determine how bad this is shaking here to make you feel it. And then this one here is going to be how, and so the sensitivity here is going to basically let you select if you want to have normal sensitivity or increase, so how close you are getting to those lines as you're driving. So onto the 360-degree camera. You can see here, this is a great view of it. You're always going to be able to, in the park mode, look at right out in front of you and see what's out there. And then here's your top view, just basically giving you that outline of your vehicle. This is, you know, this is just a stock image here, the vehicle itself is, but you can see all the way around it, the perimeter there, anything that's around you. This is great for me with my kids, who never seem to listen when I say stay in the garage or stay out of the way when I'm backing up. It's also handy when I'm backing up to trailers and whatnot as well. So here's some other options within the 360-degree camera. So you can push this button here. You can see the 360-degree, you know, the little circle there going all the way around. You can look just in front of you. You can look. This one's going to give you 3 different views, and in the front, basically looking all over the front using. This is going to be the side camera, another side camera that's underneath the mirror, and then the front one that's right in the grill there. Hit this again, and we can see what's in the right up high there, looking in the truck bed. And then this would be if I had a trailer camera, for instance, hooked up. I could plug into that one and see that there as well. So we'll go back to the standard one here. So getting to some of the goodies areas that I like, you know, you've got plenty of storage here. You have some outlets. USB outlet down there, 2 of them looks like, and this just pops right back closed there. You have plenty of cup holder space here, but you can slide this over, get right in there, a little more storage right down there, which is very nice to have. One of the options that I love in my center console here, of course you've got 2 cup holders back there, but you can flip that open, and first of all, this is lockable. Okay, you can lock that location right there, and you've got some storage here for pens in both those locations there. But mine came with a safe, so I can lock this right up here if I want to. I've got it opened right now, but more storage down there. For me, this is great. I do carry a concealed weapon a lot, and so if I go across state lines into Illinois, for instance, I need to have this in a locked container, and so this is a good solution for that. Moving on with the storage, you might have seen some down here. There's some in the doors over here as well, quite a bit of that. You're also going to have more of it down here on either side of the passenger seat in the front, and then you're going to have some up here and down here. Up above, you've got some space for sunglasses. Going to have a lot of light controls here, which are going to be, you can turn on just your driver's side one, which you can see there, or the passenger side one, or you can turn on all of them at the same time, which is going to turn on the rear lights there as well. Oops, hit the wrong button there. Off now. This one here, I don't know. I don't remember what it does, to be honest. And this one here is going to close your shade. And I could close it the whole way, but, well, sure, why not? I'm going to hit that button one more time, and it'll close it the rest of the way. And then open it back up by hitting this button here. Yeah, so I've had this truck for about 18 months now, and I still don't know what that button does. It has an off symbol on it. I could look in the manual, but it's not that big of a concern for me. This here is going to be your sunroof control opening. You can obviously just open it, just a crack there too, or you can slide it fully open. This section here does open up. This rear section does not. I'm going to go ahead and open that up the whole way in the back there. I mean, this is one of the, believe it or not, one of the biggest selling points of this truck for me. I mean, that panoramic roof is just the coolest thing. I absolutely love it. I haven't had any leaks or any issues with it. Just really love it. Do have a lot of auxiliary controls up here, and then right here, this is going to be for your rear window. See if we can see that in the, there it is. Hey, see that? Good works. And there we go, close back up. So on the center console here, again, the main media hub and control hub, we've got all of our standard controls, cooled and heated seats. Both of those do work very well. One of the things that I don't like about this truck is the fact that you have to, if you want to engage or turn the steering wheel on, the heated steering wheel, you have to go into this from the climate tab here and then click this button. I mean, there's no reason why there shouldn't be a button on the steering wheel that you just hit to power on that feature. It's really ridiculous in my mind. So one of the cool things that my kids love is going to be in the ambient light settings, which is this one right here. So you can go ahead and turn any of these on. Let's turn red on so maybe it sticks out a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights on here, and you'll be able to see the cup holders are going to light up a different color there. And then in the back down here and over there as well, those are going to light up, and then underneath the doors on either side are going to light up that same color too. So pretty cool feature there. They have fun with it. It's something to provide a little entertainment, although sometimes it's more of an argument on who gets to choose. Here's our standard brake control right here. That is included. You can have your adjustments right here and the ability to adjust it that way too. So 2-wheel, 4-wheel, high and low, no brainer there. Some other controls I didn't talk about, but you do have your 12-volt up front and a car charger. So up front you have all three options, including the USBs that are right down there. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and show you in the back too, but you have some options there as well. Alright, so one of the great features that I love about this, I absolutely love about this truck, is the adaptive cruise control. It works very well. It's these two arrows right here that you're going to see indicated. So again, if you're shopping online, you need to see these two functions right here, these two arrows that are going to indicate that feature. Just a little dead giveaway if it has it or not. So basically you can go up to your dash here, and I've already pulled it up, and go into cruise control, and you can either be at normal, zoom in a little bit there, or you can be at adaptive, and I've got it on adaptive, so I'm going to get out of there, and then I can go ahead, turn my cruise control back on there so you can see that. And what this is going to do is, see if you can see all the way up there. And so what this is going to do is, if I hit this button on the top, it's going to allow me to get closer to a vehicle before it senses the speed that I need to slow down to. And if I want to have more space, I push this button down below here and it's going to adapt and have more space. And so I'm going to push these buttons and then I'm going to zoom in on the screen so you can see there's little dash lines that you'll see there that are going to make it move, allow for more space or less space. And so here we go. So I'm allowing for less space right now, which means that with only one bar there, it's basically, you know, I don't know if that represents one car length or not, but it's going to mean that I can get a lot closer to a vehicle. And so if I want to have more space in between there, I can adjust it all the way out, and that will allow me to have more space in between me and whatever car is in front of me traveling. I mean, that adaptive cruise control is pretty sweet. You can actually get in a zone where you're just kind of driving along. You don't even realize that you slowed down, but it just does what it's supposed to do, and you can just be kind of doing your thing and just cruising along right behind there, and it adjusts automatically. And it will actually, even if you have a significantly slower vehicle in front of you, it detects that very well and slows you down with plenty of time. And so you do have some phone controls right here also. You can hit mute with this button here. You can actually call here and you can hang up. And this one here, I'll go ahead and click it, but basically if you want to have a voice control, if you have your phone hooked up to the Bluetooth here, you can click this button and then say, call April, you know, who's my wife, or you can, you know, call, and then you can say a number if you want to, that kind of thing as well. So I'll hit it just so you can see what it does.
Please say a command.
Yeah, so there you go. So if we take a look at the back seat area here, first I want to show you just how much space there is. I mean, there is a good, you know, this is about 9 inches, so if I kind of airmail that there, it's probably 14-15 inches of space right there, and that's with me. I'm 6'3" in the front seat and have that seat pushed back quite a ways. So there's a ton of legroom here for adults. Again, we have 3 kids, and one of the things that the Ram had that we didn't like was the middle seat here kind of tucked back in a little bit and then went over and then came back out, and so this person didn't have nearly as much room there to sit on. You know, now we've got car seats in this location and this location over here, or booster seats I should say, and so that's why you can kind of see the creases that are in some of that the leather there, but plenty of space back here. It's just it feels gigantic when you're in it. And so they have some options back here as well for power, which you're not going to see all 3 of these options on every vehicle, even the Platinums. And I've actually seen a Limited that I've looked at online too that didn't have one of these. I think it's either this one or this one that's missing. They're all going to have the car one up there, but you'll see some that just have this outlet up here and then one other outlet in the bottom here, not all 3 options. So nice to have all 3 options back here. Again, I didn't know what I was looking at when I got the truck originally, but I've noticed some that don't have that, and I'm glad I do. One feature that is missing right here are going to be rear heated seats, all right, which I feel like you spend this kind of crazy money on a truck, it should come with all those little kinds of options that they could have. But again, we were rocking a booster seat here and over the other side, so heated seats wouldn't really be benefited from right now at this point anyways. But another look there too of the panoramic sunroof. So I am a big fan of the Husky Liner all-weather floor mats. You'll notice these are the Ford floor mats that came with the all-weather mats, and they fit quite well. I wouldn't say they are as good as a Husky Liner or a WeatherTech, but they do a good job. They stay in place, and I've been pretty impressed with them. So thanks for watching this review. Hopefully you found it helpful. Again, I didn't want to give just the great things I love about it. It has performed very well for me in a functional capacity for both business use and for personal family use. You know, again, there's some shortcomings that they're probably self-inflicted, things that I didn't get or didn't realize when I was first shopping around for the truck. The quad beam headlights are a big one for me that I'm going to make sure I get on the next truck. What else? The tires, the stock tires are just garbage. They don't perform for me at all, and at least in my application, what I'm using them for. What else was there? There was a tailgate also that just didn't seem to always want to release, although it performed just normally like it should in this video here. But man, I tell you, some of these features that can only be found here on the Ford trucks are just, they're unbeatable. I mean, you have the panoramic roof, which again, I love. You have the 360-degree cameras for safety, which are just incredible as well. You know, the interior has been completely redesigned. I mean, it's a beautiful interior. And if you've checked out the Platinum or the Limited Edition as well, I mean, you'll find that there's some, it's going to be hard for me not to get one of those Limiteds. The interiors of those trucks just look, you know, hands down the nicest that you can find. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you found this helpful. check out our other videos, and have a great day.